Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bithni Allah Ta'ala, everybody in the best state of iman, good health, and staying focused and trying to grow in this deen. So continuing on with Tafsir Sahdi, Surah 29, the spider. And we left off, we did 1 through 4. So we're going to continue on with ayat number 5. So it states, whoever hopes to meet their Lord, the time appointed by Allah for that meeting is surely to come. And Allah is all hearing and all knowing. Allahu Akbar. So whoever strives only strives for their own benefit. Verily, Allah has no need of the worlds. So the little explanation, the tafsir on it, that is, O you who love your Lord and long to be near to Allah and to meet Allah and hasten to seek Allah's pleasure, receiving the glad tidings that your meeting with the beloved is at hand and will soon come. For everything that is coming is near at hand. So prepare to meet Allah. That's a beautiful statement. So prepare to meet Allah. That's something we need to ponder on. Like, have anybody ever really thought about that? Like, what does it look like for me to prepare to meet Allah Azza wa Jal? What do I need to do to start preparing to meet Allah Azza wa Jal? Like, let's say two people met on the internet, or they knew each other, but they haven't seen each other in years, and somehow they get a connect. They end up on the phone together. And, of course, we talking about male and female. And they're going to meet each other. Whether they ain't seen each other in years, but they're going to meet each other to get with each other to see if they could do some things to possibly move forward with a relationship. They're going to prepare themselves to meet each other. She's going to make sure she's on point. He's going to make sure he's on point. They're going to prepare for that meeting. And so, like it's saying, we need to prepare to meet Allah Azza wa Jal. And so it says, so prepare to meet Allah and start your journey towards Allah with your heart full of hope, hoping to reach Allah. But not everyone who makes a claim will be accepted as having a sound claim. And, I understand labels. I thank Allah for giving me a strong understanding of labels. Such as, Salafi, Sunni, Athari, Ashari, Hanbali, Hanafi, Tablighi. I understand labels. But like it says, not everyone who makes a claim will be accepted because their claim isn't sound. So sometimes You have to be, as a Muslim, and we're all Muslims, remove all of the labels. You know what I'm saying? Because like I heard a scholar say, discussing these type of issues, and I heard a scholar say some people barely even do enough to even claim to be Muslim. And some people don't even do enough to have a sound claim that they Muslim. But they fighting with other Muslims and stuff over labels. And they shahada, because your Islam, your shahada can be invalidated or nullified. So, like it's saying, when you prepare to meet Allah and start that journey towards Allah and hoping to reach Him, you want to be sound, man. You want to be on what you own, because like it says, not everyone who makes a claim will be accepted because their claim isn't sound. So, you have to get to the point where you just remove all labels and then see who you're dealing with. See what their Islam looks like without a label. You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'm going to use something familiar, and I hate doing it, but it brings it to a perspective that a lot of people can understand. When it like gangs, like cliques, everybody in that gang and everybody in that clique, they don't like each other. They might actually be friends or cooler with somebody that's in the opposite gang. They might like them more. But because they don't claim the same gang, and some other people do claim that same gang, they might not even take them serious. You ain't no real one. You ain't no member. You ain't no outstanding member. But I have to accept you because you give us numbers. We count you. But they might not really be that. That happens with these Islamic labels. So you might get them preferential treatment, but they really not like that. But then it might be somebody who don't wear that same label, and you might not give them the respect that they deserve. When you get to the point and you able to look at people without labels, Athari, Ashari, Mutazila, Jahmiya, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting up saying everybody kumbaya and all that. But you need to be able to look at people without a label and then see exactly what you're dealing with and then make your judgment based off of that. Because we all Muslims at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? And like it says, some people, just because they claim that they Muslim, that claim might not be accepted. It might not be sound. Because Allah knows best. Because like it say, Allah informed the Rasul, there's people who going to say, like, when I'm around you, yeah, I'm a believer, yeah, I'm Muslim, I'm on what you on. But then when they're away from you and they with their devilish friends, they with their shaitans, they say, oh man, I was just mocking them. I ain't really on what he was on. I was just doing that. I was around them dudes. I was just talking. You see what I'm saying? And you had that. So like I say, but not everyone who makes a claim will be accepted as having a sound claim. And not everyone who wishes for something will be given what they wish for. For Allah hears all voices and knows all intentions. Whoever is sincere in that will attain what they hope for. But whoever is insincere, their claims will not benefit them. Allah knows best who is deserving of His love and who is not. So whoever strives is defining, breaking down that ayat of whoever strives, right? It's saying that what you should get from that is whoever strives against their own nafs, against that shayateen, that devil, against that disbelieving enemy, Shaitan, the one who strives against their own nafs, the one who strives against that evil, those evil jinns, that evil jinn that's assigned to you, and that evil wicked Shaitan, whether they come in the form of friends, of mankind, family members, whoever strives is the one who strives against the nafs, the Shaitan, and them evil jinns, and those disbelieving enemies. And it says only strives for their own benefits, because the benefit of that will come back to them. Whoever strives only strives for their own benefit, right? And that benefit will come back to them. Allah has no need of people, and Allah did not ordain commands to them in order to benefit himself. Allah doesn't need us. Allah doesn't need us to, Allah don't need us. Allah don't need your deeds. It don't benefit him. It's for your own self. So you need to do it fi sabilillah. You need to do it in the Quran. You need to do it in accordance with Quran and Sunnah and Ijma. Because you want to do the very best that you can to get that deed accepted, or to get the full reward or the full credit of getting that deed accepted. You understand? So Allah did not ordain commands to them in order to benefit itself, or ordain prohibitions for them out of miserliness towards them. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like the things that Allah tell us to stay away from, he didn't do that out of stinginess to stop us from having the intoxicants, the pork, the illegal sexual intercourses. Allah didn't tell us to stay. He didn't prohibit those things to us out of miserliness. Allah knows what's best for us, and if we choose to indulge in that type of stuff, we're not hurting Allah. We're not hurting this deen. Who we hurting? We hurting ourselves. You see? So it says, it is known that commands and prohibitions require the accountable person to strive and make an effort, because their nafs, their self, is reluctant to do good by nature. You understand? Your nafs, that which is inside of you, that can have the ability to drive you, it's reluctant to do good by nature. Sometimes people do things for people because they love them, or because they want something in return, because they want to be looked at a certain way. They're not naturally being or doing good. Or they trying to make up for something that they feel like they done that Allah isn't pleased with. You know, they carrying some type of trauma, some type of hurt. So they doing things, but it's not because they just doing it, because their nafs is reluctant to do good by nature. And you know, it's hadiths that say, like the hadiths say, if your nafs find you weak, they will overtake you. So it says, because their nafs, their self, is reluctant to do good by nature, the devils, the shaitans, the shayateens, tells him not to comply. And sometimes this can be your inner circle, the people that you with. But you might not see that they telling you not to comply, right? His devils, his shaitans, shayateens tell him not to comply, tell them not to comply. And their disbelieving enemies try to prevent them from practicing their religion as they should. Subhanallah. All of these are obstacles that one must strive hard to overcome. So coming to the next ayat, number 7. As for those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will surely expiate their bad deeds, and we will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. So deeds, or anybody who want to answer real quick, you know I'm going to always say your name first, right? Where it says, as for those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will surely expiate their bad deeds. Is there a hadith or anything that you could think of that reminds you of this ayat? Asan, Mumtaz. Follow up your bad deeds with good deeds. That is accurate for, that the hadith on following up your bad deeds with good deeds to expiate those bad deeds. So from the Quran, as it says, as for those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will surely expiate their bad deeds, and we will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. So like when we were speaking on the ayahs before and the striving, you want to try to do your deeds, your actions, your ibadah in accordance with Quran and Sunnah and Ijma with the very best of your ability so that you could get the full reward. The full reward. Also, you got to have the correct sincerity and you got to have the correct intentions so that you could get your reward. You could get the reward and the deed accepted on that level. You want to get it 100% accepted. Like on a grading scale. You want an A. You want an A plus when you're doing that deed. You don't want to get 70%. You don't want to get 60%. You understand? So again, as for those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will surely expiate their bad deeds, and we will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. Allahu Akbar. Allah give us so many chances. Right? So it says, the Tafsir says, that is with regards to those whom Allah blesses with faith, iman, and righteous deeds. He will expiate their bad deeds because good deeds erase bad deeds. Alhamdulillah. And see, that's one of the hadiths one of the hadiths, the first one that came to your mind, D's. And that's beautiful because it's saying the same thing. Allah will expiate their bad deeds because good deeds erase bad deeds, like the hadith say. And I love the way Imam Sa'di, you could really see his scholarship shining through. Like where it says, that is with regards to those whom Allah blesses with iman and righteous deeds. Because you can get yourself in a position where Allah really won't allow you to have real iman. Allah won't even really allow you to do what's considered to be righteous deeds. You could get silted up. So again, that is with regards to those whom Allah blesses with iman and righteous deeds. He will expiate their bad deeds because good deeds erase bad deeds. Alhamdulillah. And the explanation to the part of the ayat, and we will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. The explanation is, namely their good deeds, both obligatory and encouraged or recommended, or like a lot of people say, mustahab or sunnah. Right? Both fard and sunnah. What's encouraged, what's recommended, right? Sunnah muwakkidas, right? They are the best of a person's deeds because he also does permissible deeds in others. Alhamdulillah. So ayat number 8. We have enjoined upon mankind, we have enjoined upon man kindness to their parents. But if they endeavor to make you ascribe partners to Allah, of which you have no knowledge, then do not obey them. To me, you will all return, then I will inform you about what you used to do. Let me read that again. We're going to discuss some of this before we get into the Tafsir. We have enjoined upon man, humans, kindness to their parents. But if they endeavor you to ascribe partners, to involve yourself in things that's disliked to Allah, of which you have no knowledge of, then don't obey your parents in these issues. To Allah you will all return, then I will inform you about what you used to do. This is broad. This is broad. Because of course, some of us feel like if our parents is telling us to say Jesus is God or something like that, we feel like we good. I don't say Jesus is God. Right? Let me say this before I go on to this. And this is an issue with us urban African American people, not just Muslims. If some people on one day, let's say one day, they slaughtered 1 million African Americans, just totally killed them, brutally raped the women and murdered them, brutally even raped some of the men and murdered them, raped and beaten, slaughtered the children and stole all of their stuff. Let's say this happened 2,000 years ago. But they come up with a day to celebrate that mass slaughter of what they did to us. But it's cloaked under, we're going to buy family members gifts. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have a specific type of dinner for this day. You know, because on that day, let's say for instance, on that day, because as you notice, the holidays, all holidays come with some type of a specific food. Like your Thanksgiving is always some type of turkey, some type of pies. You know, your 4th of July is always some type of barbecue. You know, your Christmas is something similar to a Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be kind of lightweight universal. So let's say we just going to say, for instance, this particular day, pizza and hot wings is the menu for this particular day. And then they turn it into a celebration. Celebrating the mass slaughter of all these African Americans. But they make it a national holiday. And every year, you and your family, y'all get together and y'all buy each other gifts. And y'all have pizza and hot wings and all the surrounding other little things. Pops, Kool-Aids, beers, alcohol, cigarettes, vapes, pills, marijuana. But what we'll do is, no matter what's tied to that particular holiday, like Thanksgiving, where it's a celebration of them just totally almost extincting the Indians. Like if this was their land. Like for instance, how They feel like Africa is the land of black people, right? China is the land of yellow people, right? Imagine going to China and you don't even see like one real Chinese person walking around. Imagine going to Africa and you don't see one real full-blooded African walking around. Now imagine being in America and you don't see one full-blooded Indian. I ain't never seen one. They basically extinct almost. And then you see some people with Indian, but they got so much different things mixed in due to what was done to them. So then they had these celebrations and these people, and you had these Muslims who tie themselves into it because to them, oh, I'm just eating with my family. But they feel bad if they don't say Happy Thanksgiving to their mother. But this goes with all of these holidays. You need to look at what they're tied to first. Even if you go and look up the history of birthdays, to where they even come up with some of the stuff that they cloak in to make what they refer to as a birthday. You even have some people who talk about how when Jesus, because we're going to use their terminology, when Jesus was born and they bought the little gifts to where he was and the wise men and all this stuff. Some people cloak those things into we should have a birthday. Right? But it's so steeped in paganism and shirk. But us, just like, although this holiday may be about the mass slaughter of 1 million innocent people who've been villainized because they fought back when they was attacked. Oh, it's just about family to us. Although this holiday is about shirk, this person is God, and we get together. Oh, it's just about family. Oh, it's just about recognizing when my mom or when my dad or when my kids was born. But we totally throw out the shirk and all the other things that's tied to it when you go and look at the origins of birthdays and the paganism and different things that was tied into it. How the people who used to worship smoke, so they came up with the whole concept of candles, putting them in a cake or some type of thing, and they would light them. And the reason why they say make a wish and blow out the candles, because when they would make wishes and blow candles out, right, the smoke, they worship in the smoke, and the smoke is carrying their wishes up to these gods and these deities that's going to make their wishes come true. That's the origins of that for people who used to worship fire and smoke. And now people duped it and put it into birthday cakes, blow out the candles and make a wish. You don't know what the shirk and stuff is tied to that. And these are true stories. So my point is, when you look at this ayat, sometimes because we don't have a heart, because of our parents, we don't have a heart to not involve ourselves in this paganism, even on a low level of just saying, hey, happy birthday. You know, I just want to make sure you know I remember you. You know what I'm saying? Although you can see him every day, we want to make sure we acknowledge your day you was born and all this other stuff. And then the Muslims start trying to clean it up. And now they call them anniversaries. Happy anniversary. Happy born day. Or try to take from the 5%ers for the women and put B and then Earth. Be Earth Day. Which when you put it together, it's birthday. But they'd be like happy Be Earth Day. Because you know they call the women Earths. Okay. It's still all a lot of shirk and paganism. You need to look at the origins of where these concepts came from. And then due to our parents, not only our parents, but other people that we consider to be loved ones, we still partake in these things on a small level because we don't have the heart. We feel like we doing them wrong. And to be honest with you, some of us just love it. Some of us just still love it. And like it's saying, when it comes to these type of things, man, when it comes to not only the shirk or ascribing partners to Allah Azza wa Jal, just like I ain't gonna ask Deez to bring up a hadith because I know which one he gonna bring up, so I'm just gonna speak on it. The hadith on when your parents call you to disobedience to Allah. Not just your parents, anybody, even if it's a ruler, your parents, your kids, your uncles, your auntie, when they call you to disobedience of Allah Azza wa Jal and His deen and His messenger, you don't obey them in that. You don't obey them in that. So all these happy birthdays and all these things, man, that we just can't, we don't love Allah enough to give it up. Because Allah can make it could be beat in our head how much Allah is against it. And we still won't care. And then we might post these sins on social media for everybody to see. We don't even try to hide it. You see people all on Instagram. Happy birthday, oh beloved, all the way in another state. And then might even start posting pictures of them. You know what I'm saying? Might start posting pictures of them, and now you're involved in all these pictures and all this stuff, all on Instagram. Like, man, a'udhu billah min dhalik, man. So we need to be careful of this because it's not only left with parents. When your parents, when your loved ones, or when people is calling you to some type of shirk or some type of disobedience to Allah Azza wa Jal, you can't obey them in that. And like Allah says, to Allah we will return. Or we gonna meet Allah. We gonna return to Allah. And Allah is gonna inform us about what we used to do. So continuing on with that tafsir, man. And that just, like I said, man, that's just one thing that I feel bad, man, for our people. You know what I'm saying? And like, we got stuff so instilled in us. When they make these things holidays, they start you off on that stuff like in Head Start, in kindergarten. But you don't know the origins. You don't know the origins of Valentine's Day. Like, a lot of people don't know that the heart symbolizes a vagina, and the way they used to sacrifice women, and they'd take the vagina and wipe the blood on their face. And that's where the red part comes from. Like, man, it's crazy, man. But anyway, let's continue with the tafsirs, right? So, the tafsir, the ayat 8, starts off and says, that is, we have enjoined and instructed mankind to show kindness to their parents by honoring them and treating them kindly in word and deed, which they must do constantly, and do not disobey them or mistreat them in words or deeds. Now the explanation of, but if they endeavor to make you ascribe partners to Allah, to disobey Allah, of which you have no knowledge, for there is no evidence of the validity of what they're trying to ascribe as a partner to Allah, this is indicative of the gravity and serious nature of polytheism. So, like I said, even taking it from the shirk, anything that's disobedience, anything that's going to anger Allah, and there's no evidence or validity of what they're calling you to. Like happy birthdays, happy born days, happy anniversary. What we calling it, instead of saying a birthday, we saying anniversary. These is grave mistakes, man. And then of course we're gonna say, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it, because it's been instilled in you from birth to not see anything wrong with it. You don't know the origins of what that stuff came from, that they turned it into something else. Just like I said, they can be done killed 1 million African Americans in one day and turned it into a celebration about family where we all get together and have pizza and hot wings. And then when people start finding out, oh man, did you know that we were celebrating a day they killed 1 million African Americans and this is really a celebration for them? You know, we're going to say, I don't care. It's just about us getting with our family and having pizza and hot wings. That's what it means to us. As if like you can't get with your family and say, you know what, y'all, 2 days out of the year, let's all just pick a day and then we're going to meet and be family on those days. No, we got to be into these days that they done commercialized where they going to make $1 billion worldwide off of everything that we got to buy to participate in a day that's celebration of the slaughter and almost instinct in a whole nation of people. To celebrate who they refer to as God's birthday. Anyway, so the definition of the Tafsir on then do not obey them. To me, to Allah you will return. Then I will inform you about what you used to do. The Tafsir says, and I will requite you for your deeds. So honor your parents and give precedence to obeying them, but do not give it precedence over obedience to Allah and His Messenger. You understand? So obey your parents, but your parents, your loved ones, is broader. When it comes to people calling you to things that's disobedience to Allah, you can't obey them. Because obedience to Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that takes precedence over all things. And then again, you have to look at the stuff that's tied into this stuff. This, and it burns me up to hear Muslims say that Christianity was sent down and birthdays is a part of Christianity, right? Because it's the origins of some of the twisism that they spit in it is when they brought presents to Jesus when He was first born. So this is a part of Christianity, and Allah sent down Christianity, and as Muslims we accept that religion so we could do birthdays too. This is the origins of shirk. I don't see nothing wrong with it. If Allah, if it's disobedience to Allah, it's definitely something wrong with it. Right? So we're going to do this last little ayat right here. Number 9. As for those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will surely include them amongst the righteous. That is, whoever believes in Allah and do righteous deeds, Allah has promised them that Allah will admit them to paradise amongst His righteous slaves, namely the prophets, those who are strong and true in Iman, the martyrs, and the righteous, each one according to their level and status before Allah. Sound faith, sound Iman, and righteous deeds indicate that a person is blessed and that they are of the people of the most gracious, the righteous slaves of Allah. Who want to be amongst them? Who wants to be amongst them? So also keep in mind the little takeaways, right? You wanna stay on the righteous deeds of things because these things expiate, do away with your bad deeds. You want to obey, you want to honor your parents. Same with your children. Same with your aunties. Same with your uncles. Because we understand the ties of kinship. Right? Your loved ones. But when it comes to disobeying Allah, when it comes to showing that disobedience and falling into these Christian Zindiq practices, you got to stay away from it. You have to stay away from it. And, unfortunately, I know some Muslims, you could tell them 1,000 times. You could tell them every single day, all day long, and they not going to stop doing it. Christmas, birthdays, even if it's just saying, hey, happy birthday, even to people who done passed away, there is some Muslims, and, that's just like I was saying, man. Allah hasn't blessed them or favored them in the regard to where they not like that no more. It's something going on, man. It's something going on with them for Allah to leave them there. Just hard-headed, man. I don't care what Allah say. They love these other people, and then sometimes it don't even really be about the love that they have for other people. Sometimes it be about the love and stuff that they want on social media. Like, I gotta say this, man, and I'm finna close, man, and because it break my heart, and I recently synced it. I know a Muslim brother, man, and every year he go live. And he goes to his mother's grave. Okay? She's not Muslim. But every year he goes to his mother's grave to recite Al-Fatiha. And to do these Islamic prayers for his mother. But it breaks my heart to see him do it every year. And he do it for her birthday. To tell her happy birthday. And all this and that. But it break my heart because wallahi, he don't know Al-Fatiha. He messed the Al-Fatiha up. I'm not talking about in recitation. It's whole lines of the Al-Fatiha that he leaves out. He recites it wrong. I told him years ago, and he still do it. The very first time he was around me and he tried to lead the prayer. And I was around him and, I went ahead and prayed next to him as a sunnah. I had already prayed and he showed up. And I heard him recite Al-Fatiha. And then when he first said, I said, okay, the brother made a mistake. Then he said it in the next rakat. I'm like, whoa. So when I started talking to him about the Fatiha, try to show him and corrected him. He didn't take it. And this was probably like 2015. This was like 2014, 2015. Every year he goes to ever since his mom passed away, he go make this video for her birthday and get on live and try to recite Al-Fatiha. And he can't recite Al-Fatiha. No matter how much something is said to him. I said something to him, and then it be Muslims on there, on his live, encouraging it. I mean. And, making the type of du'as that's for like Muslims and, you know what I'm saying? And I understand, man, I ain't going to say nothing to nobody about their mom. I get it. But you embarrassing yourself, because one, you're doing this for a birthday. Two, you go live every year and recite Al-Fatiha wrong every year. And they just did it like a week ago. You know what I'm saying? But because we just can't leave that stuff alone. And these are some of the things that I done heard them say. Allah sent down Christianity is Christianity. So things that's from Christianity we can still do, like birthdays. Allah sent it down. It's just unfortunate, man. And not to put him, I'm not trying to put him out there. I'm not trying to speak bad about him. But this is something that an individual does in public. They go live. They post it all on Facebook and social media. And I say something, I'm going to be honest, I got to the point where, I don't want to sit down with him. I done tried to help him learn Al-Fatiha. After maybe 3 years, I just left it alone. Because it don't do any good. If Allah not going to change, it ain't nothing that I could do. And it just broke my heart to see them do that the same again this year. But they said something that was heartbreaking. And I'm talking about in this city that live right here. And it's heartbreaking because they like 66, they might be like 62 maybe. Been toying with the deen since the 70s. As far as that, all those other little soft offshoots, tribal, the street tribe, Islam and all that stuff, man. And can't even recite Al-Fatiha. And I'm not saying tajweed wise. It's like whole ayahs just totally missing out of it. And then twisted. But they recite it that way all the time. Man, Allah guide the brother back to what's correct. And don't keep in mind, man, I do make du'as for these people in private, even when I'm making tahajjud, night prayer. Part of when you're doing your stuff in 2 rakats, a part of my stuff is daqiq. So when you like when you're doing your night prayers, right? And outside of Ramadan, you do them in sets of 2s. So like my first 2 rakats is for Allah alone. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not making no du'as, no tawbah. They strictly for Allah alone. Then the next 2 after that is my du'a rakats, where I make du'as for all the strong students of knowledge, the da'is, the ones that's calling to khair. I try to say their names, and then I make du'as for their families, for their kids, du'as for Jannah, for the scholars, not just the ones that's in America, the ones that's really calling to good all over, wherever they are. And then the ones who I know by name, I say them all by name, right? Then my next set of rakats, I make du'as for the Muslims that I know personally. I make du'as for the Muslims in the city to come back to what's correct, even to the point. So I make du'as for these people all the time. Of course, I make du'a for myself, and so it's not like I want bad form, but I also go to Allah and just be like, and it just came clear to me. You making du'as for some people that they don't even make for themselves. This is not what they want. See, you can make du'as for some people because they had this Muslim tag, and this is what Islam require, but that's not what they want. That's not what they want. And then you can ask Allah to change their heart, but they don't want their heart changed. That's what some people not ready to accept. They don't want their own heart changed. They want to be exactly what they are. And Allah knows it. And see, sometimes that's some things that don't mean don't make dua for them. I'm not saying that. But sometimes, man, your heart has to accept that qadr. Because like I said, I would just keep going to Allah. And, because I'm going to Allah all the time. I want this perfect masjid here. I want the perfect ummah. I done sat around them for years. Every so many years we get together and we had these talks, and it's been going on since 2006. Let's get together. We should do this. We should do that. The exact same group of people. And to see from 2006 to 2000, basically we a couple of weeks from 2025, it's crazy to see what's going on. It's crazy to see what's going on. And I'm sitting up saying, this brother, I remember, and this is what I say, man, about people who put their being down in some way, shape, or form to chase dunya. As far as the African Americans, this brother was the best Muslim that I had seen in the community. He was on the sunnah every day, went to work in thobes, pants above his ankles. He stayed right across the street from the masjid in the house that the masjid owned. Real big, huge house. So when you came in, the whole downstairs layer, it was a masjid. Beautiful too. When you come in his house, he had the tea set up. He had the different little cookies to go with the tea. He had the little chai milk, the little milk to make the chai tea. He had that teapot where you just mix the milk and the tea and you put it in there and it'd churn and the chai tea would come out perfectly with the sugar. And we used to go over there, man. I remember I sat up there and watched the message with him. And then the man started chasing dunya. And I'm talking about, this was in 2006 when I met him. Once he put it down like that, he ain't never got back to it. Used to do itikaf in the masjid, and it wasn't about an envelope or none of that. Now these things done changed, man. And now, I remember back then that man knew how to say the Al-Fatiha. Now he don't. No matter how much you talk to him about it. No matter how much you talk to him about it. That's scary to me, man. And the brother got to be 60 by now. 60, 61. That's scary to me. It's heartbreaking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it make me cry. I ain't gonna lie to you. It make me cry to see that brother like that, man. But let me get on up out of here, man, so I could go ahead and lay down for an hour or two and get up and pray, man. Hold on to your deen, man, because like I said, man, that swaying, going back and forth, you'll never know when Allah will take it away from you. And due to certain things, and just due to certain things, man, you just never know. You just never know the state that Allah will put you, the position that you're going to earn from Allah. To where you just, it's just not good. And it's apparent when you're not good in this life and you closer to the end of life. You on the tail end of life. And it's apparent that your deen is not good. And like I ain't gonna say nothing to be irritating. Like every day, the same brother in my messenger, every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, he send me like Christian memes. They not as bad as they used to. Christian quotes, never a hadith, never no assalamu alaikum, never. No assalamu alaikum, no no hadith, no Quran ayat. It'd be like, today is the Lord's day, so hopefully your day be blessed. And y'all know how when they using that Lord thing around, that they not using it from it's not even from an Islamic like website. And it'll have like these flowers. It might have some crosses on it. Then sometimes at the bottom it might be like John 13:65 or whatever that type of stuff is, to the point where wallahi, I don't even open it no more. Soon as it pop up and I see it's a thing from him, I just delete it. I don't even look at it no more. You know, every day. No IDs, no nothing. And wallahi, been doing it for years. Years. And just to see that, man, it break my heart. It break my heart. It break my heart to see what he was in 2006. It break my heart, man. It break my heart. Real talk. But let me get up out of here, man. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nah. Alright, Sheikh. Okay. Alright. Any mistakes I made came from myself and the shaitan. Anything I said that was correct came from Allah Azza wa Jalla Muqtadir. Thank Allah, man, that we are Muslims, man. And we're on that right side of things. Pray for Allah, man. Pray to Allah to keep us on that, to allow us to remain steadfast on the true deen of Islam. And don't get caught up in that fighting over labels. Because, like it said, to the Tafsir to the ayahs, everybody that make a claim doesn't mean they're going to get accepted, because that claim might not be sound. And like I said, I heard a scholar say, some of these people, man, fighting over labels and fighting with other Muslims because of labels, barely Muslim. And some of them Islam is just totally nullified. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.